Berlin is a huge city and it can be very difficult to choose where to visit when you have never been here. But I'm here to help. On your first visit, your focus should lie on getting an overview over the city, experience some local culture, getting to know its unique history, and of course, the food. And to take you around the city, Coswheel, the sponsor of today's video, have provided me with their newest e-bike, the Model T20. I'm excited to try it out. Let's go! We will start the day in Berlin's hippest district, in the most underground place of all. But before we go there, we need to have some proper breakfast, right? And the best place for that in Friedrichshain is over there. It's Wahrhaft, Nahrhaft. It doesn't look like much from the outside, but they have a lot of delicious things to choose from. And the interior is so quirky and vintage, it doesn't get more Berlin than that. And when you've had your fill, it's time to just head across the street to the R.A.W. area. Let's go. This is the R.A.W. area in long Reichsbahn-Ausbesserungswerk. Beautiful German word, I know. It used to be a place where they repaired trains. But now, today, it has become the epicenter of the graffiti scene and also a very important hub for the alternative scene here in Berlin. If you didn't know yet, Berlin is the capital of graffiti and street art. And here in the R.A.W. area, you find a lot of beautiful murals just next to each other. So make sure to come here, have a stroll around, and enjoy the scenery. And if you're interested in finding out more about the street art here, you can book a guided tour to show you the best spots in the city for that. Make sure to check the description, I'll put a link for that in there. If you walk around here, you will see a lot of these tags. One up, that is Berlin's gnarliest graffiti crew. You will see their tags not only everywhere in Berlin, but in a lot of cities around the world in Europe. And they also do a lot of bold and spectacular stunts. And they make videos about it that you can watch on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. In the morning, there's not many things open here. But in the evening, there's open a lot of restaurants, bars, and even clubs. So if you like this area, make sure to come back here once it's dark. You'll love it here. But there's one club that is open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It is this one, the smallest club in the world. Just put in some coins, select your song, and rave as hard as you can for 3 minutes. While we're at the theme of art, let's head over to the East Side Gallery, the part of the infamous Berlin Wall that is still standing. Today, it is the world's largest open-air gallery, so make sure to have a stroll along it. The murals of the wall have been painted by 118 artists from 21 countries, and they created 106 unique art pieces. And if you walk along it, you will see them all. Next, we're going to head over on the other side of the river using the Oberbaumbrücke, a double-deck bridge connecting Friedrichshain and Kreuzberg. It's one of Berlin's most iconic and special bridges. Once you reach the other side, you will want to have lunch at Bürgermeister. Burgers are one of Berliners' favorite foods, and this place here is one of the most famous and unique one. This is the very first original Bürgermeister that opened in 2006. Inside an old public toilet from the 19th century. And the burgers here are some of the best in all Berlin.
Oh God, it's so good. So good.
Since we started the morning with the alternative side of Berlin, it's now time for the main sites. And this is our first stop, the Jewish Memorial, or Holocaust Memorial in Germany. This memorial is a place of contemplation, consisting of more than 2,700 concrete blocks of different heights. Most people make the mistake of thinking that this landmark is only overground, but the actual part you want to see is beneath it. So make sure to find the entrance to the free underground museum and see the stories behind it. While you're here, just swing by the famous Brandenburger Gate, which is just 2 minutes away. Take a quick selfie and continue to the seat of the German government. The Reichstag! If you want, you can visit the glass dome on the top, but if you do, make sure to reserve a spot like at least 1 or 2 months in advance, because it's always booked out and you cannot visit it if you want to go the same day. When you're done looking at this majestic building, you gotta catch the bus 100 from over there to head to our next destination. But I'm gonna go with the bike because I can't take it on the bus, right? The bus line 100 is usually a double-decker bus which will take you to Zoologischer Garten. And on the way it is offering some nice views over the famous Siegessäule in Tiergarten. And of course you can't miss the iconic Gedächtniskirche, which was destroyed during the Second World War and never rebuilt. So as it stands now, it has been ever since the World War. And if you look to the left, there's the famous Bikini Mall, one of Berlin's best malls. It is a bit more on the pricier side, since we're in Charlottenburg after all, but it is a very cool mall to check out if you still have time today. Just go inside and check what they have. There's a lot of Berlin startups selling their products, and I'm sure you'll find a nice souvenir in there. It's time to end the evening at the Monkey Bar, which is a funky rooftop bar offering amazing cocktails, bar bites and a view over the Berlin Zoo. Hence the name Monkey Bar. Day 2, you want to be starting with some proper German bread from this bakery here. Zeit für Brot. Zeit für Brot is one of Berlin's best bakeries and has several branches across the city. If you want to try German bread, do it here. Once you enjoyed your breakfast sandwich, it's time to head over to Museum Island. The island in the middle of Berlin that is home to 5 of the best museums in all of Germany. The Bode Museum, the Pergamon Museum, the Alte Nationalgalerie, the Neues and the Altes Museum. When you visit Berlin, you gotta visit at least one of them. They are all amazing, but if you need some help in choosing the right one for you, I have already made a video where Dr. Stephanie Pearson gives a little insight into all of them. After you've tanked up with culture and history, you just have to walk past the Berlin Dome to get some lunch at this place, Museum Island's newest edition, the Berlin Palace. Inside is a self-service bistro with a great selection of food. You won't find anything better in the area for such a good price, I promise. If you still feel like seeing more culture, you can stay inside the Humboldt Forum and explore the vast collections it houses there. It's so big, you could literally spend days here without seeing everything. And most of the admissions are free as well. After you've soaked up all the culture here, it's time to head to our next destination. If you want to switch things up and do some shopping, I'd recommend heading to Hackescher Markt and check out the local market there. Which is also a great place to grab some dessert. In the area are also the Hackesche Höfe, with its fancy stores and beautiful courtyards of Jewish background. Make sure not to miss the iconic Ampelmann store and the Rosenhof. If you're traveling on a lighter budget, there's also some nice second-hand shops around like Humana and Pick and Wait, which are very popular amongst Berliners. If you're visiting any month between May and September, just walk through Monbijou Park to the Tanzfläche opposite of the Bode Museum for a little dance. Yes, this is happening every day, and it's certainly worth stopping by here, even if you just want to watch. Okay, it's almost dinner time, and you can't leave Berlin without eating a Currywurst. The Currywurst was invented in Berlin after all. And the best one in the area is here at Curry 61. They have also an awesome slogan: a life without a Currywurst is possible, but pointless. If you still got energy left after today and you want to go out, just take the U8 from Alexanderplatz and head to Neukölln to the Weserstrasse, which is the perfect street for a bar crawl. There is something happening every evening of the week. If you feel like going the full Monty, you can also head to one of the countless nightclubs in Berlin. If you want to know more about the nightlife and which clubs to choose from, just browse through my channel. I made over a dozen videos already dedicated only to the nightlife here. Or if clubbing is not really your thing anymore and you've become more civilized and you still want to soak up some more culture in the evening, go watch a play in the Maxim Gorki theater, which has a long history of producing innovative and provocative plays that challenge the conventional ideas and push the art form's boundaries. If you didn't stay out too late, you wanna get up early and do a tour of Berlin's underworld. Literally. If you're interested in World War II history and how it impacted Berlin, this will be perfect for you. A tour of the Berliner Unterwelten takes about 2 hours and leads you through bunkers, sewers and shady tunnels. My personal favorite is Tour M, which focuses on the stories of people who tunneled to freedom from East to West Berlin. If you decide to do one of the tours, make sure to book in advance, since tickets will likely sell out close to the date. If you wake up with a hangover though, you can also do a tour later in the day and then you rather start the day with a brunch at F. This little gem is close to where the tour starts and they've got some excellent French-inspired breakfast. Just look at it, there really is no better hangover cure. For most of you, day 3 will fall on a Sunday, and Sunday is flea market day in Germany. And the first one you want to check out is the one at Mauerpark. It's one of Berlin's biggest and liveliest, which is even open in the coldest winter months. And don't worry, you won't find only cheap bric-a-brac here. There's loads of professional sellers here as well, presenting their newest collections. On location, there are also tons of street food vendors, which make the perfect spot to grab some lunch. And there is plenty to choose from all over the world. It's not just a flea market that attracts people to come here. There's also a lot of busking and a massive public karaoke happening. And up on the hill, you can always watch some graffiti artists going on with their business. On this particular wall, there is someone creating a new art piece every day of the year. When you've had enough of the Mauerpark, stroll over to the area around the chic Kastanienallee and sit down in one of the many cafes for a coffee and a cake. This is one of Berlin's nicest streets and there are countless amazing ones to choose from. Last but not least, you can't leave Berlin without having eaten a Döner Kebab. Because not only the currywurst was invented in Berlin, but also the Döner Kebab in the pita bread. The very best in Prenzlauer Berg is Rührarm Gemüsekebab. Many even dare to say it's the best in Germany. And it very well could be. If you want to know which other kebabs in Berlin are at the top of the game, I've made a list in my Patreon. This is the best kebab in Berlin! Your very last stop on day 3 will be at one of Berlin's most unique sites, the Holzmarkt 25. Some call it a hodgepodge of artistic buildings with spaces for entertainment, food and drinks. Others call it an urban oasis for creativity and culture. Whatever it is, it's worth to come here for a sundowner and taking in the Berlin spirit one last time. It's not just a cool place to hang out. Today it contains a kindergarten, a restaurant, a co-working space, a yoga studio, a theater, several bars and a public park. Alright guys, this was the 3-day itinerary. I hope you enjoyed Berlin and I must say after 3 days of using this bike, I still love it and I can only recommend buying it. And thanks Cosmo for providing it. I will be happy to keep it. And let me know if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. And if you have any more suggestions for first-time visitors, just drop a comment below. See you in the next video.